In this video, I'd like to give you a brief overview of what would be required when trying to receive NACTV on your DSD300 and DSD310. Now, typically any installation is made up of three components. The first component is your reception, and that's all your equipment that's outside. So that includes our satellite dish, our LNB, and our cable running into our home. Let's draw the line there. Now the dish. It's important to make sure that the dish was aligned beforehand. If you need help with that, please contact a technician and they'll come and align the satellite dish for you. On the LNB side, it's important to note there's a couple of factors. First of all, the DSD300 and DSD310 are not SAT-CR decoders. So that means they cannot be plugged into a smart LNB on the SAT-CR ports. If you have the new 2-port smart LNB, it won't work at all and you'll need to change the LNB itself. It must be plugged into either a universal LNB, such as a single, a twin, a quad, an octo, or the SAT-CR LNB with a universal port. It's also important to note the local oscillator frequencies. Older generations of LNBs use a 10.7 local oscillator. Please make sure that you change your LNB to a 10.6, so not 10.7 but 10.6. And then it's important to know that your settings on your decoder must correspond to your LNB local oscillator settings. So let's say that that's all done. If you're using a MUDS switch, so a DSTV SAT-CR switch, you would need to make sure that there are cables plugged into the vertical high, horizontal high, vertical low, and horizontal low ports. That's very important, otherwise you won't pick it up because it'll cut all the high band off. So the piece of coaxial cable runs from our LNB all the way through to our house and then plugs into the decoder. Please make sure that it's connected up to the correct port on the decoder. On the DSD310 there is a DVB-T port. That's not what we're talking about here. It must be plugged into the satellite port. There are other videos which I show you guys how to scan your decoder, how after the firmware upgrades, and how to do a blind scan on the 300. So please watch those videos now to obviously do that step and scan the decoder. The third section of any installation is the interface from the decoder through to the television. So here's my TV set. Now both decoders have got HDMI output. So we can either use an HDMI cable to plug it in, or they use the RCA cable, so the red, white and yellow ones, to plug from the decoder through to the TV. Please make sure that you change the source on the TV to the corresponding source on there. So if you've got HDMI here, and using an HDMI cable, please make sure that it's plugged onto HDMI and that it's on the correct port, because there's some TVs that have got multiple HDMI ports. And then you will be able to see what the decoder is displaying. So you can see it's quite straightforward. As long as we just follow the basic steps, we should be able to pick up NACTV quite easily. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to make them below or get in touch with us. We'll do our best to help you. Have a great day.